Yo, what's going on? It's your boy G. Tazy back with another busting ass visit. Let's go ahead and get straight into this. My boy Pluto over here, he want to get played with. Nope, you know what I'm saying? Pause. Hey, I just want to play with my dog. Feel what I'm saying? So, I'm finna go ahead and speed run it out. But before I get into that, I just want to say RIP Cheese. You feel what I'm saying? My condolences go out to Gillie and Wallow, because this is some shit for any father to go through, especially as a black man who's trying to get his family out the hood and trying to teach them better things. That he died to the same streets that he be trying to, you know what I'm saying, promote peace and goddamn just put money into the streets of Philly and everything. It's really messed up. So I'm just gonna go into it and give my open, honest opinion with this reaction, and we finna see how Cheese really, you feel what I'm saying, passed away, because I have no idea. Like, I really don't know. I know he died to like gang violence, but I don't know what happened. I don't know if he's part of a gang. I don't know what he does. I just know he rapped with his brother Mac and Cheese, and it was decent. You feel me? It was, you know what I'm saying? It was alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and get straight into this video. Let's go and see what's going on. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, WildBoyG, and Twitter, WildBoyG. Let's go ahead and get straight into the video.
Gilly the Kid made it out of the streets and became one of the most positive dudes in Philadelphia. But that didn't stop him from tragically losing his son, YNG Cheese, to the trenches.
That's crazy.
Cheese was trying to pop off in the rap game like his dad did back in the day, but he ended up getting caught in the crazy situation we're breaking down today.
Okay.
YNG Cheese came up in North
Hold
Philly.
on, let me put this in HD, you feel what I'm saying? I mean, I gotta respect him all the way through, you feel what I'm saying? HD clarity, we ain't doing no 720p.
Started getting in trouble at an early age.
Right.
North Philly is a wild place where anything can happen to anyone, and Cheese ended up falling into the trenches like most of the dudes he grew up around. Back in the day, he was all about playing sports and making it out of the streets that way, but acting wild and staying in the streets.
It's crazy, he looked just like Gillie'S. He looked like a young Gillie. That shit wild. He really just looked like a young Gillie.
He held him back from his hoop dreams, and Cheese ended up getting kicked out of school and couldn't play anymore. Sports were his main focus in high school, but after it didn't work out, he knew he had to switch lanes and find a different path. He had been rapping and making music since he was around 9 years old, but back then, it was just something he did for fun. His dad, Gilly the Kid, was always in the studio when Cheese was coming up, and Cheese said that's where he learned how everything in the booth worked. Cheese decided to go hard in the studio after high school, but he was still close to the streets. He tried working a legit job at Walgreens for a while, but that only lasted a few months, and then Cheese was right back in the trenches. What makes his story even more tragic than other rappers dying is that his dad already made it out of the streets and left all the drama behind. Gilly the Kid was also born and raised in Philly. Now he's famous for hosting $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. But back in the day, he was really out in the trenches trying to get his rap career popping. In the early 2000s, Gillie even had a deal with Cash Money Records and was supposed to be working with Birdman and Lil Wayne. It should have been a massive win, but then the situation fell apart and sparked a beef that's still going on today. According to Gillie, Cash Money handed over $200K to sign him on the spot, but they didn't work out any of his publishing deals. He said they just wanted to get him locked into a contract as fast as possible and were trying to play with his money. Gillie said he tried to talk to Wayne about the situation, but Wayne didn't even know how publishing worked. After all the drama with Cash Money, Gillie ended up leaving the label, and that's when Wayne dropped the track Problem Solver and rapped, "Gillie, man, I don't think you niggas should really the gun off me, urgently working and twerking it perfectly. Circle the block, I'm like, I'm busting them, I'm cussing them. Like, I buck them, I buck them, I buck them." After Wayne dissed him.
Why? I never knew Wayne dissed Gillie. Why did Wayne diss Gillie though? Gillie didn't even have no, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't even no smoke. It wasn't even no issue. Why would you diss the nigga? What the hell type of shit is that? Just because you didn't know about your publishing? What the what?
Gillie clapped back on a rap DVD and claimed that he was writing lyrics for Wayne and a bunch of other Cash Money artists. And then on the track Warning Shots, he rapped, "Stop playing with me, boy. Lil Wayne, for an OG spank you with the cannon. Give you all 17 shots from the cannon. And you don't want a war with my army? Go get your navy up. Bosses only talk to bosses. Wake baby up. I mean, what you gotta prove to these niggas? You know I put the tools to you, nigga. Whole time around Cash Money, tutor the nigga. I guess that's what coke and ecstasy will do to a nigga." Wayne responded with Live from 504 and took more shots at Gillie with the bar, "See, you can smell that I smoke, and yep, I sit that lean. You hit me with that combination, it make my eyes bleed. I'm a shark in the water, yep, I swim with the big, so I don't have time to deal with Willie the Squid." Gillie's beef with Wayne was getting some shine in the spotlight, but his rap career wasn't really popping off, and he was still active in the streets. Gillie said he was always tripping back then because he had money from the trenches, and that's what almost got him killed back in 2006. Gillie was chilling with some homies in someone else's hood, and someone in the area rolled up and tried to press him for his clothes and jewelry. Gillie wasn't just gonna let it go without a fight though, and he ended up getting 3 times.
Damn.
Luckily, he pulled through and made a full recovery, but then a year later, he almost lost his life in another way. Gillie and 4 of his homies got booked for allegedly running a drug ring, and the cops found 89 pounds of weed in a stash house they allegedly owned. Usually when that many dudes get hit with the same crime, at least one of them will flip on his homies to save himself. But Gillie and the rest of the guys kept it solid, and eventually the case was dropped because the cops didn't have enough evidence. At the same time he beat the—
See, that's why we tell y'all shut the up when y'all get arrested. If you shut up. See, here's the thing, bro. People be thinking when they get arrested that it's all over. The cops got all the evidence in the world and whoop-de-whoop this and whoop-de-whoop that. If they had all the evidence, it wouldn't be a need for a trial. They would have you dead to rights guilty. The whole point of a trial is to prove that you're guilty. These niggas don't know that you're guilty. They think that you're guilty. They don't have enough evidence to prove it. So that's why they gotta get y'all to flip. That's why they try to get as much evidence as they can and put y'all in jail. And that's why the court isn't the next day after you get locked up. You feel me? It takes time for all this shit to process. I don't know what's wrong with you niggas. Stop thinking just because the police got you and arrested you, they know everything. They have to prove it. And they have to prove that they did it lawfully. So when you get arrested, shut up and lawyer up. STFU and get a lawyer. Please. Because he beat this shit. I didn't even know Gillie was this damn savage. What the hell you mean you got shot 3 times and you was in the streets beefing with Wayne and you was doing all this shit and you got locked up for 85 pounds and nigga, what? No wonder he be living like every day like it ain't no tomorrow. Shit, I ain't know Wallow and Gillie was like that. Well, I know what I'm saying. I know Wallow got locked up for that robbery and shit 20 years. God damn. Thank God that nigga's out. Because that shit's crazy.
The case, Gillie scored another huge win. After the news broke, he was signing a deal with Koch Records. By the time Cheese was coming up, Gillie was already out of the streets and making real business deals. But when you grow up in a place like Philly, it's hard to avoid the trenches, and Cheese ended up in them just like his dad back in the day. Cheese said he made a lot of mistakes before he hopped in the booth and ended up getting booked on drug charges. He was also drinking lean and popping perks. But Cheese knew he had to switch up how he moved if he was gonna make it out of the city. A lot of rappers who come from the trenches get some money and don't even think about how it's gonna change everything. But Cheese proved from the jump that he had bigger plans. Instead of letting his homies carry guns and act like security, Cheese hired real guards who had gun licenses so he wouldn't risk his homies getting locked up. Cheese knew that Philly was a deadly place to stay, and he said he wanted to move to California or Atlanta to get away from all the drama. In an interview, he talked about how much beef and killing was going on in the city, and it's clear that Cheese wasn't trying to stay wrapped up in those situations. He dropped his first project, Born a Star, in 2019 and caught a little buzz in Philly, but his real break came in 2021 when he linked up with his brother Mac for the track Ignored. Mac and Cheese grew up in different houses, but they were always tight and started collabing together in the booth. They had plans to drop a bunch of projects together, but then Cheese was tragically shot and killed in his hometown before they got the chance. After Cheese started getting some success in the industry, his first goal was to make it out of Philly. After his son Chase was born, Cheese knew that he didn't want him growing up without a father figure in his life like so many dudes in the city had to. And by the time Chase was 2, Cheese wanted to be far away from the drama of Philly. Cheese never had the opportunity to see his dreams come true though, because on July 22nd, 2023, he was shot and killed in an area of Philly called Olney. It's still not clear exactly what went down, but according to reports, Cheese was chilling on the block with a couple homies when a shooter rolled through and started letting off shots. 2 other guys got hit and survived, but Cheese caught a bullet in the back and was tragically pronounced dead less than an hour later. Nobody's been booked for what went down, and right now it seems like nobody knows why it happened. Cheese talks about moving smart and keeping security around him, but that night he got caught lacking somehow and was chilling in one of the roughest hoods in the city. Wallow 267 is Gillie and Cheese's cousin and the co-host of $1 Million Worth of Game. He spent 20 years in prison and didn't get to watch Cheese grow up, but he said losing his little cousin like that is just making him even more dedicated to stopping the violence in Philly. Gillie and Wallow turned their lives around and have been doing so much for Philly that they were even given keys to the city. Cheese said he wanted to make his own lane and not rely on his dad to be successful, but that's what makes the situation even more tragic. Gillie had enough money to buy Cheese a crib anywhere he wanted to live, but Cheese didn't want to go that way. He was dedicated to his own hustle, but unfortunately, he stuck around the city too long and ended up dying in the same streets he wanted to leave behind. There's no evidence to back it up right now, but there's a rumor going around that Cheese actually had a price on his head because someone was trying to get at Gillie. Gillie hasn't been involved with the streets in a long time, but rumors say he still had a lot of ops who wanted to settle scores with him and they went after Cheese just to hurt him. We don't know what actually happened yet or why, but it was another tragic loss for Philly that shocked the city. Gillie said it's the hardest thing he's ever had to go through. Hopefully we'll find out more about who was behind Cheese's murder soon and his family will get some closure. So tap in for updates while the story develops. Rest in peace, YNG Cheese.
That shit. That. First of all, R.P. Cheese for sure. I hope Gillie and Wallow and Mac doing okay. I hope Gillie's wife's doing okay. Hope everybody that, you know what I'm saying, Gillie's son doing okay. Not Gillie's son, my bad. Hope Cheese son is doing okay. I hope Cheese BM is doing okay. Cause that shit crazy. And if it's really true that he had a price on his head because of his dad, that shit even more fucked up. And I just hope they stop the violence, man. Keep pushing peace and get out them streets, man. That's all I can say. That shit RP, man.